Hello, everyone, and welcome to Investing and Trading Live. As always, my name is Josh Bilquist. Today is the 13th, not Friday the 13th, but Monday the 13th of the month of November. So today we got a big couple of things to cover. We had a monster move on Friday after a pretty big drop on Thursday, but a monster move Friday. Stocks look, as of right now, 7 minutes before the open, to open lower. A little bit of weakness coming in, but that being said, the trend is up. We do have overhead supply in the S&P 500 that we've been waiting for, so we will see what happens to that, and we'll do a quick market update for you with stocks. We will look at some ETFs, your commodities, and your currencies. We'll even peek at your cryptocurrency since that's a hot topic with Bitcoin teetering up to close to 40,000 here again. So as we know, there is risk in trading and investing. You can and will lose money at one point in your life. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, mainly mine. But hopefully you find it entertaining as well. Let's get into our market update. S&P 500 closing the week out last week on Friday at 440.61. Looking to gap down to, as of right now, 439.16. So market's looking to gap down here as we're looking at the open. Now, a couple things to note with the S&P 500. There is overhead supply. We are looking on a 4-hour chart. So overhead supply at the 442, 444 area that we've been talking about for quite some time. So this market is showing some potential selling pressure up there, not too far away from that right now. So that could potentially get up there in the next day or two, depending on what happens here today with this gap lower. So that is your S&P 500 ETF SPY market update. 343.01 was the close for the Dow Jones on Friday. Looking to gap lower as well. 343.01. 342.31 is looking at where it's going to open up here today. So gapping down with 5 minutes to go to the open here. Not much of a overhead supply area. As good as it looks on a 4-hour chart. That being said, there is a 1-hour supply zone in the Dow Jones that has dropped off once already, and we are piercing through that ever so slightly on Friday, but we are down to the bottom of that again. So will this hold again? We will see, and we will find out. That's your Dow Jones Industrial Average. QQQ, which is the NASDAQ, closing Friday 378.39. Same story, monster move on Friday, which it opened up at 371.88 on Friday and closed at 378. So a big move on Friday. That being said, we are gapping down on the open today, Monday the 13th. IWM, that's your Russell 2000 ETF, 169.11 is where it closed on Friday. Not as strong as the other markets were on Friday. That being said, it was a market move to the upside, but the candle looks totally different than the others. It's not as strong as it looked, but that being said, it is gapping down just like the other ones, looking exactly the same as we get into the open here in about 4 minutes. Looking at your ETFs, the VIX volatility index has been dropping from 23 down to 15 over the past week or two, and it gapped up had a big move down, I should say, on Thursday, but gapping up just way up on Friday, and barely even moving on Friday. So not much of a move on Friday after it opened. That being said, it was up 7% on just that day. So a big move on the VIX volatility index. Oil, USO, was up 2.19% on Friday, looking to gap up just barely, about 10 cents, the way it looks on the oil market. Going to XLE, that was up 1.1%, and that one really gapped up pretty big on Friday, but really the open and close was right at the same spot, so not much of a mover there on Friday with XLE, the energy sector. Let's get into our commodities. Gold and silver currently at gold at $1,934.35. So starting a downtrend right off our supply zone that we had talked about back on that daily chart, going straight up from our demand zone all the way up to our supply zone and coming back down on that. Quite frankly, we could see a jump to the upside at near where price is at now, but we could keep continuing to go down. We will see what happens with that. That is your gold ETF GLD. Sorry, that's your spot price. Silver spot price. This one also in a downtrend. Came right up to the pivot highs back from September 25th. And no real good-looking supply or demand zone, so that one won't be traded by myself at all because there's nothing really to look at there. So that's your commodities. Bitcoin, 36,876 even. Steady uptrend for Bitcoin. Way to go, Bitcoin. HNT, there we go. We are finally seeing our pop in HNT. We had seen a slow uptrend starting back on September 12th all the way to probably about the 3rd of November and then just popping straight up. Currently at $2.08 per HNT helium token. Looking good there. Okay. That is that. All right. So we will look at some options trades here today. Nordstrom's is a dying breed. Although they have earnings coming up, might offer some premium. That might be a little bit of a risky trade, but we'll check it out. All right, HNT, that was HNT. So let's get into your stock update. Market is open. Currently, market is now open. And everything gapped just like we said. NVIDIA's opened up right at the open at the same price. Meta's down ever so slightly. So we're going to see some big movement here. It's going to be hard to really call a price because of the movement that's happening there. Most of it is turning in the red. Most stocks turning in the red. Lowe's is up 2.1%. AMC. Everything is down. Everything is moving down today, my friends. Great move to the downside. Let's go. Dick's Sporting Goods, Nike's down 0.5%. Tesla is the only one that is up right now. Tesla is up 1.1% on the day. It actually gapped up and showing some strength out of the open. Apple's down. Turtle Beach is down. NVIDIA down. I think I said that. There you have it. Nordstrom's. All right. So let's go look at some options opportunity. I just want to peek at Nordstrom's. I know the 9.5s were given some pretty good premium or last week. It is a riskier side trade because they do have earnings coming up. Let's just look let's riddle ourselves just to see what it's giving right now. Let's look at some 25 days, the December 8th. And the 10s. Spreads are pretty wide right now, though. Spreads are way too wide for doing anything there. We'll see as the market continues on today. Let's look at the 32 days. Wow. Spreads are pretty wide for some reason on Nordstrom's. I'm not sure why. Could it be the volatility in the day? I don't know, but we'll look at that as it continues on here on the day. Wow, 30 cents. Oofta. Well, we'll keep monitoring that. So that is your options update for Nordstrom's. Volatility is peaking up. The IV gauge is now in a 5. So that is showing some opportunities there. But gosh darn it, boy, those spreads are just way too wide. We'll move on from that, look at it later. All right. Dick's Sporting Goods now down 1.27%. Macy's down 1.3%. Yeah, Nordstrom's is now down 1.7%. So big drop on Nordstrom's. That being said, it's about a 30% drop 25% drop to get down to that 10 strike, but just not giving enough. Caesars Palace is down 1.82%. I guess nothing really notable to talk about in the stock market. It's just market's open now, 8:33 a.m. in Central Time. And we will leave it at that. So that, my friends, is your stock market update for Monday morning, the 13th of November. Not Friday the 13th, Monday the 13th. We will continue on this update tomorrow. We will check out some options, opportunities as the day progresses to see if we get some liquidity in some of these options, and we will go through that most likely tomorrow. That being said, as always, collect your profits when they are given to you. Protect your losses, keeping them small. Until next time, retire young, my friends.